this helps our guys take the proper angles to cut off safeties, cut off backside corners, linebackers that are flowing over the top. This helps us make sure their eyes are in the right spot, making sure they are taking proper angles to pursue, but then also playing as hard as they can throughout the snap from ball being snapped to the whistle. And here's a clip of that showing the payoff. We saw a bunch of rocket toss, and I want you guys to watch the backside tackle here. The big guy, big man right here. And I want you to watch the angle he takes. He is not going to move at lightning speed, but he knows his angle. He knows his touchdown block path. He keeps working, and then he gets in the way. Halfback makes him right, bends it back, and he was the guy that helped spring that last bit of the play. Helps when you got somebody like number 3 too. Here's another look. Look at the left tackle here. We're running rocket toss to the right. And he's working his touchdown block path, right? Because we ran rocket toss pursuit all week. And he does a good job sticking with that angle and working across the field and sticking and staying on this safety, right? Corners, safeties, they don't want to deal with, big linemen pursuing downfield here. I'll skip this one here. All right, another way we play fast, veer drill. All right, we've gotten burned in the past on stemming defensive line or guys moving pre-snap and us not having our eyes up, and then we miss. I don't know why that just jumped ahead. There we go. And we'll miss because we don't have our eyes up and we don't stay true to our rules. And so what we'll do, we'll have 3 linemen go at a time. We'll have guys with bags, and on our call, they'll get to jump around, move, stem, and they will try and trick the O-line against their, to not follow the rule. So like, let's say we have veer left called. All right, on veer, everybody's down blocking, everybody's stripe in. And so as the bag holders jump around, the guys have to remember their rule. We run the play, they step to the right spots, right? And they're not chasing men, they're going after areas, assignments. Here's the reason why we instilled this drill. So you see this Mike backer walked up, right? Veer, the way they're aligned right now, this 5-tech would have been the read key because he's the end man on the line of scrimmage. Our O-line didn't see that. They didn't stay true to the rules, right? They're thinking, hey, I've got to block a certain man instead of an area, right? So we step out instead, and the play's dead in the water here. Fullback gets a face full of backer right there. And so with that, we've done a lot more veer drill to help our guys stay true to the rules and help them play fast. Another way we play fast, half-line wars. You guys saw half-line diagrams earlier, and with half-line, we'll have part of the varsity on one side for one half-line, the other half on the other side, and they will have the same team script, and they're going to work down the field 5-yard increments, and they're going to hear a play, hey, ace, rocket toss left, flex, triple left, and whatever the play is, they've got to execute it and get to the line, get preset, communicate, run the play. If it's 100% correct, if everybody did their job and step correctly, we move the ball up 5 yards. If we mess up anything, we got to do it again. If the ball hits the ground, we go back to the 40, just like our team sets. But it's a great competition period, and it allows our guys to really realize, hey, I've got to play fast. I've got to communicate. I've got to be able to move and talk on the fly. And so here's a diagram of it. We'll go on the opposite hashes, and we'll have some of the coaches on the left, some on the right. And so it does get pretty competitive, especially with the coaches. We start, jaw jacking at each other. But the half line, that group, if they run the play correctly, they'd go up to the 15, then the 10, then the 5, and then score. And then here's a look at the start of practice in the locker room. The kids will see, okay, I'm on the black team. All right, I'm on the orange team. And you can see where the coaches are as well. So another way we play fast is our scoop block guys. Scoops, you guys know what they are. They're any block on the backside of a play where we're trying to cut off backside penetration. You're trying to stop anything from crossing our face from play side A, backside A, or backside B. And there's two types of scoops. We've got the near scoop, which means the threat's the inside gap is head up or shaded inside. So you have a 2-tech, a 2-eye on a guard, or even a 4-tech on a tackle. That's a near scoop, right? And he's inside, he's in your threat, he's in your stripe to stripe gap. A far scoop is if your threat is a man away. So if I'm a tackle and I have a 3-tech in my gap, that's a far scoop. The main difference is how flat am I stepping, right? The near scoop looks like a veer release that we'll talk about later. A far scoop looks like almost like a pull the first step. It is flat down the line. You're trying to aim for the far thigh and the far hip of the threat that you're trying to scoop, right? And we take a lot of pride in our scoops. We don't want to cut, right? We don't want to just take a step or two, dive on the ground, because that's lazy, right? That's a loaf if you're just laying on the ground. And so we really pride ourselves on once you scoop, once you take your steps, you better scramble your butt up and climb to the next level. Throwing is the term we use, not cutting. And I would know about lazy scoops because that's what I looked like in high school. I loved to drive block, but I hated scooping. And I was a lazy scooper, and I don't want our guys to be lazy scoopers like I was. So our scoop philosophy here, you can see it is stripe to stripe. So when we say stripe, we mean the stripe of their helmet to the guy inside of them's stripe, right? And so the center generally has play side A gap, nothing crosses face. Backside guard has backside A, backside tackle has backside B. So it's really like zone blocking, except we're doing it in the thighs and the hips of defensive linemen. So here's how we practice it. I'll show you scoop drill here in a little bit. It's a 2 lineman drill, and sometimes we'll have a backer flowing over the top. So we go 2 for 2. We work these a lot with these big orange scoop balls you'll see in a little bit. Team scoop is like a half line, except with scoop blocks and different second level tracking that will work. One-on-one scoops will have one lineman line up across from another one, and they're both trying to scoop and own their gap. The head coach will only let us run that maybe once a year, but it's a good competition period. And we'll see who wins the block. It's a good up tempo, it's a physical period. And then tracking drill is more about where are your eyes at, second level. As you scoop, we want to snap our eyes back because we're not going to catch anything that's past us, right? We're not going to get anything that's past our cylinder. The only things we're going to pick off at the next level are the guys that are back behind the play that are flowing and pursuing, right? And so here's a look at scoop drill. And not a bad job there by the backside tackle, right? You can see the shoulder dip he has there too, right? On step 1, he loads the shoulder. He loads the elbow. Step 2, he's ripping. But he does a great job dipping his shoulder down and scrambling back up to find work, right? And his eyes need to get back. Show you one more clip of it. And that's a good job, right? If you got a more athletic guy, he might be able to keep his feet, right? Which is great. But he does a good job. He loads the elbow on step 1, and then he rips through on step 2. Scoop tracking drills. This is second level stuff, right? So we scoop through the initial down lineman threat, and then we get our eyes back, right? Our eyes back for the next threat that we see. First guy I thought did a really nice job here. Rips through, and eyes are back immediately there. I'd like to see the second guy get through faster and finish the uppercut, finish the rip. Here's another look at it. Taking the first threat that they see. And they have to drive that second step, drive the second step either flat. If you're the far scoop guy, you better step flat. And I wish this guy had been stepped a little bit flatter here, right? If you're a near scoop guy, you can push that second step vertical, right? It's all about where your defensive line threat is and where your gap threat is on the line of scrimmage.